Welcome, class, to the Intro to Java Programming. This is the sixth of 6 lessons on operators. Today we will review the ternary operator along with code examples. We will also cover a few guidelines to follow. Operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. Those operations can be in the form of expressions or conditions. Expressions can produce a value, assign a value, and possibly do nothing, like in the case of a void method call. A condition is used in a decision process to determine if the evaluation of two expressions are true or false. One example could be, is 3 greater than 2? This is a true condition. In this lesson, we will focus on an assignment operation with a condition for true and false. The ternary operator is a condensed form of the if-else statement with 3 arguments: a condition, a true value, and a false value. The result of the condition is assigned to a value, so the ternary operator is a combination of assignment operator and decision process. Let's look at the syntax of the ternary operator. It should become more apparent. Here is the syntax for a ternary operator. The result will be assigned to a string variable called myValue. The first argument is a condition. Here we have, is 73 greater than 42? The question mark indicates this is a ternary operation. The second argument is the true result. In this example, it is the string value bigger. To separate the true result from the false result, there is a colon. The third argument is a false result. Here we have the string value smaller. As you can see, the ternary operator is a combination of assignment operator and decision process. It is often called an inline if statement because it only uses one line. Let's look at the if-else statement and the ternary operator statement. Here is the code that will assign myValue using an if-else statement. We need to declare a string variable. Here is the if statement and condition. This is the code block that will be executed if true. This is the code block that will be executed if false. And here the ternary operator performs the same task with one line of code. This one line of code is easier to read and understand. Should we use a ternary operator for all if-else statements? This is not a good idea. Let's cover a few guidelines for using the ternary operator. It should be written with one line of code. It should be easy to read and easy to understand. The ternary operator has an assignment action, so the result must be stored into a variable. It should be a simple if-else statement. The condition should be simple. The true-false value should also be simple. If your decision code does not follow all these guidelines, write a normal if-else statement. If your decision code meets all the guidelines, you should consider a ternary operator, but it's not required. Time for a Coach Joe challenge question. Looking at this ternary operator, is this statement allowed? Correct. The data type of the variable being assigned must be the same as the data type result for the true and false values. We declared a string data type here. The true condition is a string. The false condition is an int. All 3 data types must be the same. Let's go to our basics project in IntelliJ, close any open class tabs. Let's navigate to the test package, operators. Let's create a new test. We'll call this test ternary test. Let's make some space. Copy in this first test, import in these classes. This first test will show the result for a ternary true condition. We create an int variable called firstValue and set it to 73. This line is the ternary statement. We create a string variable called value_test. Here is the condition that will be evaluated. If true, the result is bigger. If false, the result is smaller. Here is an assert statement that expects value_test to be bigger. Let's run this test. And it passes. This test will show the result for a ternary false condition. This is the ternary statement. First value greater than 100 is a false condition, so value_test will be set to smaller. Here is the assert statement that expects value_test to be smaller. If we run this test, it passes. In this final test, I will show the true and false values are from a method call. Here is a private method that will return bigger. There could be some additional code here if needed. and another private method that will return smaller. Again, there could be more code here. In the ternary statement, the true condition will take the value from a private method call. The false condition will take a value from another private method call. The assert will check for bigger. If we run this test, it passes. The use of a well-named private method can make a ternary operator statement easy to read and understand. Here's a summary of all the test code we wrote for this lesson. You should now have an understanding of the ternary operator. It is a condensed form of the if-else statement that returns a value for a true and false condition. Remember to follow these guidelines. It should be a simple if-else statement. There should be only one line of code that is easy to read and understand, and it should be an assignment operation. Don't use a ternary operator with a complex if-else statement. Your optional homework assignment is to create a test with a ternary operator that proves a given number is odd. Create another test that proves a number is even. Hint: use the modulus arithmetic operator. In the next lesson, we will discuss the switch case statement. Remember, future senior developers, make it work, prove it works, then make it better. Ready? Break!